Guys, lock in for this video. These exercises are basically going to expose to you guys the reasons why you're stuck. The blind spots that you keep missing in your games, why you find tactics in puzzles but you can't do it in your actual games. Lock in, guys. Let's go. No. For newer viewers, I'm going to be giving you some chess tips from now. But for persons who have been watching my channel for a while, you guys would have already know this. But remember, we do not play automatic moves. We always scan the board for hanging pieces and we always check for better moves. Alright? The next thing is that don't play any one move ideas. You need at least 2 to 3 moves. Try to look ahead. Alright? What would you play as white in this position? We need board vision. You see that we have rooks doubled up here. What would you play? I'm giving the answer right now because if anybody here played this move rook to e8, you would have absolutely failed my test. We need to scan the board, guys. Look for our hanging pieces. For every move you play in chess, scan the board. Stronger players do this automatically. We now see that the king is weak, the rook is weak. Q to c5. If you found this forking the king and rook, well done. Well done. Well done. The second thing I want you guys to understand is don't play automatic moves. Now, the reason why you miss tactics in your games is because you're playing too much on autopilot, like your intuition. Even though you have a move pre-planned in your head, when your opponent makes a move, you always need to look at the board with fresh eyes. What would you play for white here? If your answer is still to take the rook on f8, that is wrong. This move, rook to e7 followed by queen to c7, is a checkmating tool. If you guys are actually keeping up with this, well done. You're having the right mindset, and guess what? This is not just about like solving one or two tactics, it's about keeping the consistency. This is how you basically do this in multiple games. Let's get into the next one. Alright, so the same thing for like hanging pieces, it also works with defending. If you're defending in chess, try to keep your pieces connected. If things start to look a little bit like hanging, especially if your king is unsafe, start to be super alert. If you cannot protect all your pieces when defending, be extremely alert for tactics. What would you play for black in this position? Remember, we always scan the board for hanging pieces. So I'm going to be even giving you guys the first move. Q takes c7. Black took a free piece. White played Q to b3. What would you play as black in this position? I'm going to be giving you two options. Would you play, there's only two options. Would you play king to c7 or king to a7? Pause the video. I'll be giving the answer now. All right. King safety. If you guys played the move king to c7, again, failed. But why? You have a hanging piece on, what's this, f7 and a hanging piece on h8. I am always looking for tactics along these lines. If I have a hanging piece, I am super alert for tactics. Now, especially the fact that when your piece is on the same line, these tactics, these moves become available. So you have to be extremely, again, alert for these kind of stuffs. Let's say this one last time, guys. Whether you're attacking or defending, hanging pieces, you need to scan the board for them. Pieces on the same line, tactics become available. Ensure that once you're again in a very vulnerable scenario, especially with a super weak king, be very alert for unprotected pieces. The difference between like in your puzzles, you know that there's like a tactic, guys. But for your tactical awareness, scan the board more often, every single move. Now, there are many systems to play chess. For masters, they basically just do the simple stuffs more repetitively than the average player. You guys are, as a matter of fact, it's black to play in this position. What would you play? Remember, for low elo persons, they just play the first thing that comes to their mind. They're like, oh, free bishop. And then guess what? Because they're only thinking in one move, they get surprised. And this is where persons' nightmares come from with knights. They're like, oh my god, I hate knights. And the list goes on. If you practice to actually look for better moves, not playing automatic moves. Like you see a good move and you're like, all right, I want to play this, but is there better? You try to also see how your opponent can punish the move. Things will become a lot simpler. Whether you are new to my channel or not, you guys would have maybe heard this one before about your forcing moves in chess. Your checks, your captures, your threats. Now again, chess masters, we just have this wired into our thinking. Like when I think of chess, like sorry, in terms of like a game, like the only moves I see when it comes on tactics are like my forcing moves first, which are again the first move I see in this position is this move, queen to d4 check, separate from the obvious capture on b7. Queen to d4 check is what we call an in-between move or a Zwizzen's move. Hope I pronounced that one correctly. You will not be able to spot these moves if you just play automatic moves. Let me say this again. This move is an in-between move, meaning it's a move you play before you play the obvious. So guess what? If you play the obvious, you will not be able to spot moves like this. The benefit of having the queen on d4 is now the king has to move or the queen has to block. If the king moves, guess what? This now comes with check. That's the difference. We're now forcing our opponents to respond to us. This is the benefit of having, again, forcing moves in the position. And this is what you need to calculate first in chess. These are blind spots. Now, I told you guys again, the difference between the persons who are improving and the ones who are not, it's just the fact that one is just listening while the other one is implementing, sorry. Yeah, you guys have, I'm very sure that most persons here heard about forcing moves, but they're like, yeah, forcing moves, blah, blah, blah. And then they just go back to their, like, they'll just go back to their old games and then they try to solve a tactic, like just sitting around the board and just like guessing moves. Use your forcing moves, especially in your games. You just have to creep before you start running. Just do the right stuff, wire yourself into actually playing, you know, proper tactics, and then you can speed up the process later down. But if you found this one, well done. We're going to be continuing again. Let's go. All right, so if you actually played this move king to a7 instead, good. No, this is just again being super alert. Because white's queen is also unprotected, he's unable to take on c6 because that would be a free queen. Hanging pieces are very, very, very common for tactics. You won't be able to just play a good game of chess and not create a hanging piece, but it's just a signal. Like whenever you have a piece that is unprotected, just signal the alert, guys. Like really start locking in and focus to really ensure that you're not blundering anything. Now, congratulations to my supporters who have gotten 100% so far. Like to get 100% on my test is sometimes impossible. But, you know, for persons who are currently at 100%, well done. It's black to play here. Remember, we always scan the board for unprotected pieces or things that are in danger. Just always practice to scan the board. Don't get tunnel vision on one area. Scan the board on every move. Once you practice it, guess what? It just becomes automatic. Like it's gonna become how you think, like regularly. You no longer have to like force yourself to do this. It's black to play. What would you play? For everybody here who saw that this rook was hanging. Boom, on c1. Well done. What would you play for black? If you then took on c1, you would have successfully failed my test because we always look for better moves. This move is here, but guess what? I know that there's also some persons here who saw the idea that this is basically checkmate. The difference is, once you play, like if you took this and then played q to h3, white has q to f1, protecting the square. If you play this one first and white plays q to f3, we now have a deflection tactic, which is bishop takes c1. And because we reverse the order, white is unable to take because of checkmate. Very good. If you found this one, well done. Like, practice again to look for better moves. Even though you know that there's like a free piece on the board, just, in other words, if there was not queen to h3, then you take the rook. But force yourselves to look for better and don't just think one move. Try to look more moves ahead. We're going to have one final one and I'm going to end it there. Master this, guys. Pass the test. Let's go. Just to make sure that we're on the same path, I'm not just like, wait, that's a free rook. That's one move thinking. If you want improvement, practice to look for more. So like this is a variation, at least 2 to 3 moves deep. You see the queen move and then we take. So we're looking into lines. You don't want to get surprised. Now this is the final exercise. What would you play for white in this position? And this will tell me a lot about your level, just your thinking alone. I keep telling you guys that your thinking system basically reflects your level. Even if you get this one correct, if you have bad thinking behind it, it's not going to be consistent because you're going to be winning games and then like losing to like against some other low elo persons tilting all their ratings back. So we realize that there's a hanging piece on b8. For everybody who spotted this and took on b8, well done. For persons who saw queen takes b8 and tried to look for a better move and actually considered knight to d5, also very good. But that's the thinking system. I see a good move, but I don't just play it. I'm not just like, hey, that's the rook, let me take it. The way I get the consistency is that I take a step back, or I'm about to take this, and then I check it 3 moves deep. Because I don't just believe that I'm going to take the rook and then my opponent is just going to like sit back and be like, Raheem, hey, thank you for taking my rook. He's going to fight back. So here, queen takes b8. Knight to d6 now traps the queen. If you guys also saw this, then you would have successfully passed my test. For like low elo players, if you're now advanced, you know about these defensive techniques. When somebody attacks you in chess, your first instinct must not be to react. You need to look to create a counter-attack. Our queen is currently under attack. How can you counter-attack someone else's queen? So again, for persons here, your first instinct would be like, oh my god, my queen is trapped. And then you try to sacrifice it. If you force yourselves to look for better moves, you will start to see moves like knight to d5. This is also, again, a very good move. Pawn to a5 is also a move that you can play to deflect the queen. As you can see to the left side of the screen here, it's still winning for white. Knight to d5 is much better, but if you found knight to d5 or pawn to a5, I will accept both because what you're basically doing is deflecting the queen. Let's say that the queen goes, where can I put this queen? Let's put it, it can't even go anywhere. Let's say it goes here and then you just like escape with queen to c7 and you're absolutely fine. You could also, again, just for like practice, let's say that you see queen to c7. It doesn't really matter, by the way, guys, because white is up like a whole rook. But you see queen to c7. You're like, all right, I'm about to make an automatic move and save my queen. Force yourselves. If you have learned nothing else from this video, look for better. Check your forcing moves. You're going to be like, all right, I want to do this. This is my low elo self talking to me. It could be the correct move, but I need to scan the board for better. My forcing moves. Example, knight takes e7 check, followed by queen takes d6. And by you improving your accuracy long term, your chess explodes, guys. Like you just get ratings. Like so it just starts printing because you'd have leveled up. Don't chase the rating, chase the level. Try to level up your chess. Thanks again for watching, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. See you guys again another time and implement this in your games. Peace.